think about this little town?
Different, anyways. Everything's on it looks like an incline. I remember when we drove and I asked you if there was like quarries here, because it reminds me of maybe somewhere in Arizona or something would be, just with all the rocks and stuff like that. Remember we took a walk to that quarry thing? We thought it was a quarry, but it's just a dumping ground for, I think, construction debris, right?
Yeah.
And we were looking for some kind of unusual rocks to add to our crystal skulls and all that kind of weird physical stuff that we use in our little toolkit. And then you got your little purse. You picked up a little purse there for your skulls.
It's not a purse.
A carry bag, okay?
It's not even a carry bag. It's a sewing kit that I got from the Dollar Tree, the dollar store, because I've been working out and I needed the measuring tape so I can measure my arms. I follow a friend of mine on YouTube, Rich Piana, and he was using that, and so I'm following his diet right now. And his diet, he's gonna lose 71 pounds, and he's gonna lose 71 pounds in what was it? 8 weeks. He's already lost 25 in like a week and a half. So thanks to Rich, now I'm drinking Diet Dr. Pepper.
Really? I'm the one that drinks Diet Dr. Pepper. Sorry.
Yeah, but I'm following the diet, and that's what he was drinking. So
he was drinking Diet Dr. Pepper or Diet Coke?
Diet Dr. Pepper. I told you y'all drink the same thing.
Oh, okay.
And if Rich, if you're watching, yeah, she drinks Diet Dr. Pepper too. But and I'm eating my burgers without the bread to see if I can lose the weight, because we're gonna start the film festivals
mid-July,
and it's already mid-June, so I got about 4 weeks to lose 30-40 pounds so I can feel comfortable at these events and stuff. My look's changing up a little bit too. You see me in a new style, whereas Timothy Mark, the horror producer, is known for like the black Dickie shirts, the blue Dickie shirts, the collar shirts. Well, it's going to be different look entirely coming up this year. But what I wanted to give y'all was a history lesson on Alexandria here. She's a Metis.
It's called Métis, M-E-T-I-S.
Métis. She's a Métis. Not like a ship Métis, but a Métis. Like, describe to them what a Métis is.
Basically, a Métis person is a person that has two ethnic DNA backgrounds. So my background is Scottish and Aboriginal, or for lack of a better word, Indian, because we've had one indigenous person in our DNA line. So that's what a Métis person is. It could be French and Aboriginal, it could be Scottish and Aboriginal, can be English and Aboriginal. So I happen to be the Scottish Aboriginal variety of a Métis person. So it's a very distinct, unique ethnic group in Canada, specifically in Winnipeg, Red River Valley region.
Okay, and your great uncle was called
Cuthbert Grant Jr.
Cuthbert Grant Jr.
Yeah.
And he was known for massacring a shitload of people up there.
Excuse me. You know what? I was interviewed for the Winnipeg Free Press, and we had this same conversation. It is not a massacre. I know it's taught in some
No, you interrupted me. What I was saying is what he was known for.
Okay, sorry, but
compared to what he done, is one thing, but what he's known for.
That's one of the things. It's, sensationalized. Through history and how history is taught, anything that's bloody, gory, people died, a massacre, a battle, that's what people remember you for. Not for the other achievements that you had, but anything with senseless killing, as people would say. People kind of, that's what they want to hear about. And it is...
Well, what did he actually do then?
What did he actually do? Well, June 19th is actually the 200th anniversary of the encounter of Cuthbert Grant, his men, and Governor Semple's men near what they call Frog Plain, or Seven Oaks now, in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. So basically, but how we look at it as a separate ethnic group is that's the first time that we asserted ourselves or asserted our rights as a separate ethnic group away from white people and Indians. We're totally separate. And that's, and you know, again, like I said,
But you're a mixture of the two. You're a mixture of the white and the Indian.
exactly. So that's the unique, distinct Métis person, is that you're not a white person, but it's either French, Scottish, or English. That's how it's derived, and that's how it's categorized. So it's those three distinct groups mixing together, and that's how the word Métis. And I mean, usually in Winnipeg or Manitoba, Canada, that's the only place that they use that term throughout the whole world as a Métis person. So we're a distinct class of people, as it were.
And you're going to be busy this weekend because you're going to be speaking up in Canada at 2 different events, right?
I've been asked by the Métis National Council and the Manitoba Métis Federation to speak at Grants Old Mill at 11 o'clock, but they're going to be having a service or a mass in the church in St. Francis Xavier for Cuthbert Grant in the church at 9 a.m. Then they're going to be going to the monument that all of us paid for, and then they'll be going to Grants Old Mill. I'll be welcoming everybody at 11 o'clock, all the dignitaries, the government officials. Then Minister Will Goudon will be speaking, and then there will be a lunch, and then they're going to be doing four more tours.
What was the newspaper that interviewed you?
Winnipeg Free Press. Randy at the Winnipeg Free Press. There's going to be a massive article, tomorrow's paper, the day before. So he said it's going to be huge. Like Saturday's the thickest, the most.
You think you'll be able to get a copy when you get up there?
I hope so. I'm hoping people, I mean, I'm sure a lot of my family members on Sunday, oh, we've seen you in the paper, they'll probably have a copy for me.
Yeah, let's hope so.
So, I mean, Saturday is the biggest newspaper of the whole week, so that's kind of crucial that they're doing. And I'm sure with all the people that are coming from Ottawa, TV cameras will be there, will be all over the news, plastered all over the place. There was a massive news conference yesterday, and the mayor of the city of Winnipeg...
You're out of the camera, you need to get back into the camera.
Sorry. The mayor of the city of Winnipeg actually has the Métis flag flying all over the city of Winnipeg. So the whole city is involved in the celebration. So it's a huge historical event.
That's good.
And then I have the other event in St. John's Park, that the Roman Catholic Archbishop. I'm sitting on the board of that event. They'll be doing... everything at the monument sort of starts at 1:30, where all levels of government will be doing a ribbon covering, and there'll be speeches and hoopla, and then we'll move to, there'll be a mass in the St. John's Church as well, and then everything will take place in St. John's Park. There'll be a feast, a free feast, and then all the entertainment is going to start at 6 p.m. We have a stage, we have speakers, we have an MC, we have all that stuff, so it's a whole free event for everybody. We're expecting maybe in excess of 500 people in that park just for that one event. And then there's events that is going on throughout the city of Winnipeg. That's just the 2 events that I'm involved with, but there's something going on in the whole city, so it's a real massive event.
Yeah. And then when she gets back to America, we got 2 investigations lined up that we're gonna be doing. I know everybody's been asking about, you know, what's going on with room 118 and, you know, stuff like that. But we got 2. We got more investigations that we're gonna be doing, and
hopefully New Orleans first, before we're going to sort of maybe kind of regroup or kind of recharge our batteries in New Orleans before we start everything mid-July.
Before the festivals, yeah. But we're going to do the 2 investigations next week when you come back, right?
I'll be back, yeah.
Right after that, when we get those up, edited and out, we're going to head to New Orleans. It's like a vacation. We'll spend about a week and a half up in New Orleans.
Maybe like honeymoon/vacation? Is that okay to say that now?
Honeymoon.
Well, isn't that...
Honeymoon. Everybody's been like responding and...
Well, don't everybody know that we're married by now, or is that, you're going to bleep that out?
Well, I think there's a lot of idiots out there that don't realize.
Oh, maybe you can bleep that out then and just disregard that.
People often sometimes might assume that this is just part of a reality show, that we're pretending to be married, but in actuality, we are actually married, right?
Yeah. There's no pretending here. It's just it's the reality of the situation that
Yeah.
it is what it is, and it's still.
But not just the honeymoon thing for New Orleans. The real reason that we're going, yeah, we talked about doing it for a honeymoon, but the real reason is, her birthday is in July, and so I was going to take her there for her birthday. And let me tell you something. I spent the last few years of my life not really traveling a lot. I mean, I was on the road a lot, but I wasn't really like tourist traveling, you know what I mean? But I was more working traveling, so this would be good to actually go somewhere with somebody and enjoy a vacation, honeymoon / throw the birthday, for you. Everybody wants to know how old you're gonna be.
A lady never tells her age. I'm very sorry. Sorry, that's confidential information, but I'm old enough to know better. Let's put it that way, right? To some people, they still think they should butt their nose in my personal business. I'm very sorry, but I am an adult, so
yeah.
For those of you out there.
Oh yeah. Speaking of those people that like to put their nose in your personal business out there, there's people out there that get off on watching these videos and talking crap, and they want to say that these videos are distasteful or whatever. And this is our life. This is what we live. We don't put on airs for people. This is who we are, And so, to those people who've never met me but want to make those comments about stuff being distasteful and not living up to who you're supposed to be or whatever, fuck you!
Whoa. Wow.
And so, with that being said, you know who I'm talking about. And me and you ain't never gonna have fucking shit in common, and you never need to come to me and say shit. Ever. I done heard about your shit. Fuck you. Seriously.
I think it's really sad when people, instead of being happy and try and support you, and they may not agree with your decision, but if you were any kind of a person, you would just try and support people and be there for them, and not always trying to put them down and be disrespectful. I think everybody deserves to be happy, and one person's idea of being happy may not be your version of happy, but respect people and show kind of common decency, and remember that friends and family should mean everything, and obviously to a lot of people it doesn't mean anything at all. But
there's a lot of jealous people out there too, because if you think about it, you're living the life, man. I mean, really, we do a lot of traveling. We see a lot of investigating. You when I say living the life, you're living the life that you want to live, right? There's people out there who are not living the life that they want to live. They living a life for somebody else, right? And they might have a wee bit of a drug problem there, them son of a bitches. But anyway, fuck you.
Well,
but go ahead.
With Timothy is saying too, I mean, I think that's the best part of what I'm doing, is that I decided to grab life by the horns and say, you know what, this is what I want to do, and I'm just going to just live day by day and just do what I want to do for a change, and not have to get approval or seek approval by anybody. And it doesn't matter what I do, there's always going to be somebody that's going to be either jealous or not happy. I actually had a friend tell me yesterday that a lot of my friends are actually upset and jealous because I am married, and they do not like the fact that they have to share me with other people.
Let me interrupt right now. First off, y'all not sharing her. Be glad at the time that you get with her. She is now married to me. And so, get the fuck over it. You're married too, some of y'all that are jealous out there, right? You're married. Spend time, dedicate time to your husband. Maybe your relationship will get better. And, I'm just saying, like, we're a couple, and we need to invest the time in us and our relationship, and we're having fun doing what we're doing, are we not?
Well, yeah, I mean, we've had a few hiccups, a few bumps, but I mean, when you have two strong-willed people that, like, look at things in their own hardcore way. I mean, there is a few hiccups, but I mean, we overcome them. And I mean, the bottom line is that we choose to be together because we want to be together.
Yeah, we want to be together, and you know, for the people out there that are jealous, I mean, you know, I also want to state this to people out there, and this is on both sides of the fence, your side of the fence and my side of the fence. Cell phones today, right? Cell phones are pretty fucking miraculous. Not miraculous, but what you call it?
Ingenious, really.
Ingenious, because they have this thing called caller ID. So you don't need to call 20 fucking times a day. And you know who you are on both sides of the fence, on her side and my side. You don't need to call 20 times a day. Call once, we don't answer. Try again later, we don't answer. Try again later. If we haven't responded back to you, chances are we ain't fucking got time for you today. So wait for us to get back in touch with you, because we obviously know you called. To sit there and as we're enjoying our life, or we on an investigation, because we do a lot of paranormal investigations and we interview a lot of people, and to have a phone constantly be fucking going off, you're a nuisance. Stop that shit, you know? 3 times a day is enough, and wait for us to call you back. Am I right or what?
Right. I mean, let's face it. I mean, life is what you make it personally, and I mean, if you have to try and pop into somebody or our lives continuously, I mean, I really feel sorry for you, that maybe you should actually get away from your computer or your phone and get into the real world and do what you want to do, because that's what we're doing here, is that we're doing what we want to do, not what society or our family or friends is telling us to do. We're living life on our terms, and if you're not doing that, I really feel sorry, because you are wasting your time, you're wasting your life.
Yeah, you're wasting your life. And this is nothing against the people that do watch our videos or do go to our Facebook page, but you know, we do have some obsessive people out there that follow every little fucking thing that we do, you know. And you know who you are too, and get your life. I'm glad that you like what we're doing, that's fine, but don't become obsessed with it where, you know, 5 seconds after we post something, you're responding. It's kind of like, damn, motherfucker, really? Like, sometimes I'll post something and she won't know it till the next day, or she'll post something and I won't know it till the next day. How the fuck are y'all knowing it 5 seconds after we post it? I don't understand shit like that.
No, I mean, you know, what we're trying to do is that we're giving you our, when we do our videos, this is our everyday real life, in the life of. I mean, this is what we do every day. We're not just sitting in front of the computer or on our phones 24/7. I mean, we're out there and we're doing investigations. We're dealing with people. We're traveling. I mean, it's not an easy life. I'm not saying it is, but it's a life that we choose for right now.
For right now, but you know, we got a hell of a tour coming up where we're going to be doing New Orleans. So New Orleans, get ready. We're coming. First stop is New Orleans. Second stop is Rhode Island. Third stop is Harlem, New York. And then I believe just Chains is in New York.
New York, and then Rhode Island again.
And then Rhode Island again. So we'll be in New York State for quite some time. And then we're going to be traveling around. It's going to be one hell of a tour for us. And it's going to get exhausting for us, you know. So sometimes we're not going to feel like at the end of because people look at this and they say, you might not think that it's work, but it is fucking work. I mean, you know, we might not feel, we might just want some alone time and not like be even though we work together, sometimes we want some just alone time outside of work, you know what I mean? And so, you know, it's a damn shame that there's going to be haters out there. There's going to be jealous people that's watching this. You're trying to make your point across, trying to make somebody look bad, like they're not living up to who they're supposed to be. And so with that, you know, you're a bitch. And to one of my stalkers out there, you're a bitch. And then, you know, to people out there that's waiting on us to come do investigations, all I would say is just be patient with us, because from the time that we start touring in July to November, our tour actually ends in the last week of November, I think, right?
Well, actually, the last film festival we're back in New Orleans at the end of maybe we'll even stay Halloween in New Orleans, but I think it's the 20th or something. That's the last film festival that we have officially booked right now. I mean, that could change, but now.
Yeah, because there's one that I'm getting ready to book this in November 10th, I believe.
Right, and
but ain't that in Canada?
Yeah.
So between now and well, actually between July and November, we're going to be extremely busy because we're going to be trying to fit in investigations in between the festivals, in between the horror conventions, and that includes editing. That includes this series we're doing on the road that we're talking to you right now. This is part of the On the Road.
And what about, you said you're doing something with Horace? I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, but you said you have an idea that you're tweaking to do with Horace too.
Yeah, Horace, the Wandering Werewolf video. I'm keeping that up as well. So that's another thing that I'm doing. And really, that's done for children. So it's not meant for adults. Really, it's more for the kids. The Wandering Werewolf is. There is a series that we're working on. I don't want to spoil it either. It's going to take some time to create it, and I'm going to have that up before Halloween, actually, because Horace is going to have a very special thing. It's going to be a Halloween special, and it's going to be about 30 minutes long, and it's going to be for the children. It's going to be awesome. And so that's another thing. So we're quite busy. We're living life, man. For 4 fucking years, I didn't live my life. I let my company really just deteriorate down to dog shit, because I wasn't doing the things that I should have been doing, I was living a pretty, 9 to 5, not really 9 to 5, but pretty boring fucking existence, even though some people would find it interesting and entertaining because I was doing the investigations. But yeah,
I mean, you have to remember too that everybody has this misconception about your image as well, that's out in the mass media compared to who you really are in really life. I mean, that's one of the evils of show business or whatever, is that people that don't even know you have this misconception. And I mean, I had that at the beginning too. I mean, I'm guilty of that, And
that would be my question to you. Like, before we met, you had this perception of who I was, and then after we met, did it disappoint you?
It did a 360 kind of, because...
No, you mean a 180?
No, it just did a whole wraparound, because it was just...
But did it disappoint you?
No, it didn't really.
Well,
I mean, for me, you read all these things on your website, and you see this, you see that, and that. I mean, you set yourself out, okay, this is how it's going to be, and then it was like totally different.
So give an example so they know.
Well, I mean, you would think based on your website that you're this massive womanizer, that you go through women like you go through underwear and Kleenex. I mean, maybe that's the wrong example, but a lot of people have that misconception, and I think even my own family had that misconception. That's why they were concerned when I was wanting to come and, Yeah.
Well, no, yeah, a lot of people think that on Saturday nights I worship Satan and I'm standing in strip clubs when I'm doing it every Saturday night, and that's further from the truth. And what the reality is I'm a very relationship person. I like to be in a relationship. I've never, this is going to sound weird to y'all, and this is the truth. I've never in my life went to a fucking strip club, and not that I haven't known strippers or been around strippers, but I've never went to a fucking strip club. And the reason for that is, why the fuck would I pay to watch a woman take her clothes off? That's fucking pathetic. So for all you people that do that, y'all pathetic, man. Fuck that shit. I mean, you can't get no pussy in real life. You gotta go to the club and watch women take their clothes off. But anyway, no. And another thing, I don't worship Satan. So yeah, the perception was wrong, right?
Oh yeah, and I mean, your belief system is on one end and mine is on another.
I said a cuss word a while ago. There's somebody that you know in specific that's going to be sitting there, and I believe they're in America actually right now, one of them, and they're going to be sitting there and they're going to be watching this, and they're going to be talking shit about that word that I let slip by. Probably.
Exactly, probably.
Woo, you got something to use on me there, don't you? Yeah, you do. You do. You can go say, run and say, tell people why you that little cuss word, right? Well, fuck you. There's another cuss word.
And speaking on that subject, I really have to say that I'm very proud of my son Nicholas, my younger son Nicholas, because he has been really supportive of my whole journey, and me telling him that Timothy and I got married. I mean, I think it's hard for a lot of people. We didn't have our family around. This was just something that kind of unfolded, and I really have to say that for Nicholas, that he was, he's had a conversation with Timothy, and his thing to me, my own son, is, as long as you're happy, Mom, that's all that matters. And I really appreciated that.
Yeah, and Nicholas, you're very mature dude, and I enjoyed talking with you. I can't wait to meet you. And even Mike, your other son, I can't wait to meet you either, man. I'm not referring to you when I say the shit that I just said. I'm actually referring to somebody else, but I know that with Mike seems to be handling it a little differently than Nicholas handled it.
Well, they're they're complete opposites. So I mean, I'm not going to say one is better than the other, because that's not fair from a mother's perspective. But they're two different people that handle every situation differently. But like I said, Nicholas has
great maturity with Nicholas. Talk to him, awesome kid. We're looking forward to coming to Canada and meeting you. Yeah, I'm glad that you approve of the relationship.
I don't think it's. I think approve maybe not be the proper wording. I mean, we don't need anybody's approval. Let's just set that out there right now.
Well, it's good that your son approves.
Well, yeah.
At least Nicholas approves of the relationship.
And he hasn't said anything derogative. I mean, he's happy. I mean, and I really appreciate people being honest and saying, you know what, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters. I mean, that's how everybody should be. And if people can't be that way, that's very sad.
Well, there's going to be people that's going to be jealous, that you're in a relationship with somebody who actually is attracted to you, who wants to be around you, and who's very much in love with you. And there's going to be people out there who don't have a man that actually wants to be around them that much. You know what I mean? There's going to be jealous.
Yeah, but the thing is, too, is that, for me, a Canadian coming down to America and just saying, you know what, I'm going to do this, and, because I want to do that. I mean, that's a big step. I mean, I'm not a teenager or anything like that, but I mean, I put my life kind of on hold. I had 2 pets that unfortunately I had to part with, and I had a house that my house finally sold. So when I'm coming back to Canada, I don't have my house anymore, which is a good thing, because I lived in the same house for over 22 years. It's time for a change. But I think I'm making a whole life shift, and so, everybody is afraid of change, and I'm one of those people that I get petrified of change, because you're out of your comfort zone,
Just so the air come in.
But
well, you know what?
Scary.
And she did. She sacrificed a lot to come down here and be with me, and that's awesome. I'm glad that she did it, and we're getting ready to actually buy a house together. I'd say probably in November, right?
Yeah, and then you have to mention to everybody too, we're not going to really have that much downtime, because in November we're going to start the Cuthbert Grant film.
Yeah, we're going right into from the film festivals to and horror conventions. So we're going to take probably 2 weeks off to purchase a house in November, and we're still trying to decide where we're going to end up doing that at, and where we want our home base to be. But right after that, we're going into filming the full-length feature film. What's it going to be? The Warden of the Plains?
Yeah, Cuthbert, his story, Warden of the Plains, Cuthbert Grant. I mean, and we have thousands of people that are interested and waiting for this film to take place, because, I mean...
Just so people know, I am the fucking producer, co-producer, and she's the other co-producer. We're co-producing this film together. And so, don't let people out there be hollering about this and that. We haven't cast any roles yet, and we haven't filled any crew positions yet. And so we will do that in November. Between now and November, we'll be looking for crew members, right?
I mean, we're going to meet a lot of fascinating people in our travels. I mean,
Yeah.
we're going to do a GoFundMe page. So any family members of Cuthbert Grant, if you want to contribute to the production, by all means, we'll have that GoFundMe page up, as soon as we can. I mean, whenever we get some downtime, so you're able to contribute to the process of making the historical film.
Exactly. It's going to be an awesome film. And so, I mean, I'd say within the next few years, we're really not going to have downtime, because that film from November, I predict it like this. We're going to start filming. We're going to start pre-production actually, in November. We'll probably start actually filming the production part in January. It will be at least till November of next year before the film is ready for release. So we're going to try to release it actually if maybe fall or winter of next year, if we can get it done in time.
And I mean, this is a story that's been waiting. I mean, in the 1960s, the gentleman that did the James Bond actually was in the process of doing a film about Cuthbert Grant Jr., and he had Sean Connery that was cast in the role to play Cuthbert Grant, but something to do with production, that film never came into play. But if you have somebody that's involved with a James Bond film wanting to do something about my uncle, that says that there is a story that needs to be told there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sean Connery would have been great in the film.
I mean, he's a Scottish actor playing a Scottish guy.
Yeah. But we're out there. We got a few ideas who we'd like for the lead. We're not going to announce it yet, but we're gonna actually hold castings. Yeah, you'll have to come audition. We know that there's a lot of family members that are going to want to be in the film. However, understand that when you make a film like on this level, it costs a lot of money to make the film, and there's investors that we can't let down. So if we cast you in a role, you have to be able to act. I mean, if you don't know how to act, we're holding auditions in November. Take acting classes from now to November. Come audition for us and see what we can do. We're not ruling anybody out. It don't matter what level of acting you got. We're not ruling anybody out. Just show up and put on your best performance. But as far as the lead, it would have to be somebody who's an established actor, has extensive training in acting, and very, very good on the camera. So,
I mean, when we were talking in 2013, 2014, everybody in Canada, even the UK, is familiar with Murdoch Mysteries. Yannick Bisson, who plays Detective Murdoch, we were speaking to him about the possible lead for the role, because, he's a history buff. He knew all about Cuthbert Grant, and he was actually honored that we approached him. But projects came up for Yannick, and it wasn't a good time for him to follow through. I mean, that's somebody, he's doing historical TV series, a hit TV series in Canada.
And you know what? He's a good-looking dude, and so he's got the sex appeals there, naturally good-looking dude, and we haven't ruled him out yet either. I mean, we'll definitely be sending him an invitation to come audition if he's still interested in doing it. We're not ruling anybody out right now. But there is some asshole out there claiming to be part of the project who's not part of the project, and
it's a shame that so-called professional people have to end up being childish and very petty and be very argumentative. And he was telling me in so many words that he didn't think that I would make it in the professional world. Well, I'm sorry, I've already made it, so I don't know what kind of game he was trying to play, but I mean, he actually ruined it for himself. So
yeah, you ruined it for yourself, man, because we didn't rule you out, you ruled yourself out. I just said that we were not announcing who was a part of the project yet, and at that time you were not officially a part of the project, and that was the point I was trying to get across. But your attitude and your response to that, you ruled yourself out completely now. Plus, there's a lot of people in this film business industry that don't like you. So why the fuck will we use you?
And I think the biggest thing is that this person disrespected Timothy as my husband, and I mean, nobody should have to tell me it's my project. You seem to forget that it's my project, our story, so you don't have a right to tell me who to have, and then to disrespect my husband. I mean, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, who do you think you are?
And also, what you need to realize too is, what I want everybody to realize is, this film that we're making is based off a guy that she's been interviewed about in the newspaper, and she's speaking about at 2 different events in Canada. It's already got a huge following, and so we just need to make the movie.
Yeah, and we need to come through with some investors. I mean, the story's there, the script is done. I'm sure we're going to have to tweak the script, but I mean,
the GoFundMe page will be out in July. We'll make sure it's out in July so y'all can donate if you want to donate. We will start casting and taking job applications for crew in November.
And we're not sure if we're going to be filming just where we are or if we're going to be overseas. I mean, we have to see what kind of budget that we're going to be dealing with first before we can rule any locations out as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we want to make the best product without spending a small fortune doing it, but we don't want to have a cheap film as well. I mean, historic films can have the potential to be very expensive with costuming, location, and dialogue and all that. So we have to be mindful of all those things when doing that.
That's right. So I hope you like this on the road. A little bit of talking is a little longer than the other ones were, but you know, we're gonna keep you updated and informed. And right now we're getting ready to head up to Dallas, and so yeah, there you go.